I didn't know anything. In our first 12 months, we did 118 contracts for $2.6 million, and we ran it at a 60% profit margin. Just stay laser focused on making the dial.
So I'm sitting down again with my good friend, Eric Cline.
What's up, Jerry?
Eric, thank you for coming back on the channel. It's so fun and just amazing to learn from you, the wealth of information and knowledge you bring about sales and especially acquisitions. It's just phenomenal. So thank you again. On this video, Eric is going to share with us he called it his honey hole, right? This is his favorite lead type, favorite type of seller, distressed seller lead that you're having tremendous success with. And not only are you going to kind of talk about this lead, why you like it, but even some parameters, some criteria that you've put to really kind of hone in on this specific type of seller. And guys, if you're new to the channel or you're new to wholesaling, remember, our job is to find like the 5% of the marketplace that is motivated. They're in a distressed situation. They need to sell their property, not want to sell their property, need to sell their property. Their back's up against the wall in some way, financially or whatever. And you're there to solve that problem for them with the convenience of a fast cash offer, right?
Yep.
And so that's what we do as wholesalers. We solve this problem. Well, you quickly learn in the business that there's like 1,000 different types of leads that we can go after.
What's the best?
And everyone always wants to know what's the best. Yeah, we're always searching for the holy grail. And that fluctuates, it goes up and down, and everyone has preference. And so never take what somebody says as like, that's just, written now and etched in stone.
Yeah.
But you can certainly learn about lead types that are doing really well. And when you can identify that lead, understand it, and build some parameters around it, hopefully now you can see some repetition there and see some consistent results.
Yes.
And you've done that in your business, and you've got the best, split testing grounds because you guys are doing a lot of volume. So you're talking to a lot of different types of sellers. So you can now look at your data and say, okay, what types of sellers are working really well for us right now? And then you can divert attention there.
Yep.
And that's what good wholesalers do, is they're always looking at their data, their KPIs, the analytics of their business, and then adjusting accordingly.
Yes.
And so let's talk about it, Eric. What is your honey hole in this business as of this recording?
Yeah, so the honey hole literally for the last 2 years.
So this has been consistent.
2 years.
Wow.
We have ran our business off of this. Don't get me wrong, we have sprinkled in some other data.
Yeah.
But the most consistent is absentee owner data. We exclude LLC owned and trustee owned.
Oh, you exclude those.
We exclude those.
So you don't want tired landlords, you want actual, right? Because wouldn't those be tired landlords?
But
if
the
they're
reason
LLC?
we exclude them, Jerry, they're harder to skip.
Oh, they're really hard to skip.
Yeah, so if you are gonna buy that data, you could go look up the LLC, find the owner of it, and then skip them one to one.
It's a lot of work.
Because we're buying bulk data.
Right.
So, but when we were just getting started, it's absentee owner data. We do 20% to 100% equity.
And before we go into that, define what absentee owner is.
Absentee owner data is, I know that house over there at 123 Main Street. The owner does not live in it, and the tax bill goes to another address.
Right. So you can buy this data, because think about it. If you own real estate, but it's not your primary residence, then that automatically is going to introduce possibly, there's no guarantee, but possibly some level of motivation, because you own a property that you don't live in.
Yes.
And so, especially if it's vacant.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's a strategy called lead stacking.
Yep.
And you're talking about some parameters, but what you do is you take this lead type, absentee owner is what it's called. Someone owns a property that's not their primary residence. And then you're saying, okay, that's a really good lead, but let me put some more filters in this so I can maybe narrow it down to now it's a much better lead because it's got some things going for it now. So you started to talk about these. What are they again? What are your parameters around these?
So it's absentee owner. We do 20% to 100% equity.
And why?
Well, they just got some equity in the property. That way, if they sell it, they're actually going to get cash at closing.
Because guys, you can't sell a property at a discount if you owe more than it'll sell for.
Exactly.
That's the idea there.
Yeah,
now, you can
100%.
do creative and stuff, but you're looking for, they've got enough equity to where our low offer will at least pay off the loan they have on.
And they could hopefully put a little money in their pocket. At the end of the day, they're going to want to walk away with some money.
Right. You don't want to waste your time where you're making an offer for $100,000 and they owe $200,000.
Yes.
Like you're wasting your time.
Right.
So you filter that in out of your list. So equity 20 to 100.
20 to 100%.
Okay. And 20 is not even that like.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah. We typically, maybe we should change our parameters, but we look for like 60 and up. So that would be like high equity.
Yeah.
But
we could.
It'll
but
give you a smaller
20
list.
to 100%.
Yeah. Okay. So 20 to 100 on equity.
And then we keep the home value under $300,000.
Under 300,000.
Under 300,000.
Okay. Now why under 300?
Our average offer accepted last year was $177,000.
Okay.
So we looked at all of our deals that we did, and outside of an institutional buyer buying the home for us, the over 300 just didn't do well for us.
Now, if someone's watching this, do you think that's specific to your market, or is that a good parameter for anybody to have?
Again, that's just the way we operate our business, Jerry.
Okay.
I've heard of guys doing $500,000, $600,000 deals.
So maybe with that filter, guys, think about your market, think about your price point.
Yeah.
Because that might shift a little bit.
100%.
But for you guys, that's working really well.
Yeah, we're in North Carolina, we're in Florida, Tennessee, and Georgia.
Okay.
So, and then we go to major. So where we buy data is typically the major city, and we'll go 30 to 45 minutes outside of them.
Yep, that's what we do.
That's our business model.
Okay. Any other filters or just those ones? So
that's it.
Gotcha. So let's go through it again. Individual, not an LLC, is on title, the owner.
Yes.
Absentee owner, that is 20 to 100% equity.
Yes. Home value, depending on your market, value, under $300,000. Another thing, what does it tell you if a landlord has the home in their personal name? They're inexperienced.
They're mom and pop. Yeah.
They're inexperienced. This is my own perception on this. There's a really good chance they're not getting the market rent they should be. And I think it's going to be easier to kick your tenant out of the house than you, your wife, and your kids.
Yeah, there might be one other filter if let's say that you pull that data and it's still too much and you want to get it even tighter, is we would put years owned and we would go minimum 7 years.
Love it.
That'll really help too, because now they've owned it a while. They're probably ready to sell. So 7-10 years is another one. We've even done, when we really want to get even more, would be an age demographic. So over 45 years old.
Really?
That really does well, over 45.
Well, I bet you if we were to poll, if we had the age of all the deals we did last year, I bet you we'd be shocked at how many were probably over that 45 mark.
Yeah. But the point though, guys, is this lead stacking idea, what it's doing is it's just really helping you get a condensed list that you can now do your target marketing to.
Yeah.
But the more filters you add, the smaller the list.
Smaller the list.
But you want to get it at least to where you're working with good data.
Yeah.
Right. And there's lots of data providers, guys. If you haven't tried my new software, PropWire, you guys should check it out. It's got the best or better data than anybody else out there, and it's absolutely free. So you just go to join PropWire. But right in there, when you go to lead types, you can actually stack them.
Really?
So you could say, show me all the absentees, but I also want to see vacant, and it'll stack vacant with absentee. Now your list is going to go from here to here, but like
I don't know if we've ever stacked data.
Yeah, you should give it a shot because you'll get really powerful data. Because imagine if you did this. Imagine if you stacked pre-foreclosure, vacant, and absentee. I mean, it might only come down to like 100 leads in your town, but that's going to be a freaking powerful 100 leads.
Yeah.
Because there's high motivation.
Right.
So I tell people when you're first getting started and you're working with limited budget, limited resources, stack that list down to where you've got it now at a size that's manageable. Like let's say you're doing your own cold calling because you're just starting. Dude, if you're going to cold call a list, don't just cold call like a high equity list.
No.
Cold call a really tight list.
Yeah, you want to go for the lowest hanging fruit.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Someone begging you to take their house.
Yeah.
Now they're going to get other calls, but you're gonna really increase the likelihood that there's high motivation, high intent.
Yep.
But that's kind of what you've done in a way, is you've built some filters around that.
And the beautiful thing about virtual, because we're 100% virtual wholesaling. I actually prefer not to go to these properties.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into a hoarder's house. I don't want to go into, we sit here and tell stories all day long.
Yeah, me too.
I don't care to see inside these things.
Right.
So the thing that blew my mind about the virtual wholesaling is the United States is our backyard.
The whole market, the whole country.
It's our backyard.
Yeah. That's us.
And so what we do, like in the very beginning, like we weren't in multiple states, but we popped from, all I need to hear is Jerry's done a few deals in his market. That's like, for me, it's enough to go and buy the absentee owner data.
Yeah, I talked about this a little bit with Tony, but we now reverse engineer our markets and we look at buyer count. Yeah.
When you talked about that just the other day, it was one of those kind of like,
Well, because like Eric Cline knows, I can go in any market in the US.
Yes.
And if I know how to look for distressed sellers,
yep.
I'll find enough data to do enough deals to hit all my numbers. But what I don't really have control over or don't know quite so well or is a big concern is who's on the back end buying these properties? The buyers. And so if I can really understand the buyers, I know there's enough data on the front side. So I don't need to worry as much about, are there absentee owners? Are there pre-foreclosures?
The deal flow is going to come.
The flow is going to come.
The back end.
How hard are you going to work to move your inventory?
Yeah.
And if you've got to work really hard because there's low buyer count, that just puts so many cogs and it just bogs down your business so much.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Because when deals can fly off the shelf, guess what happens to your marketing budget? Like,
you start spending more?
Eric's going, man, we're turning our deals faster and easier. Let's dump more money into marketing and blow this thing up because we have the cash now.
Yes.
And the cash is coming from Dispo just doing so well.
Yep.
You know,
and that's for the new people that are just getting started. Like a question that is asked, once I get my first deal, what do I do?
Yeah.
And it's like,
great question, by the way.
When I get my first deal, what do I do? Don't go out and buy anything stupid. Put it right back into the business.
Don't pay off your bills either.
No, marketing. You should probably put it into marketing.
Yeah.
Like the deal, you want lead flow and deal flow, right? You don't get deals unless you have lead flow.
Yeah, I tell people the first 5 deals, or as long as you can keep doing it, if you could take at least 50% of your assignments and put that into marketing.
Yeah.
You know, and you still need some of that for tools and systems and maybe some education because good coaching is helpful.
Right.
Like if you could do there's what I tell people, if you could do 50% marketing and the other 50%, like you don't need the money because you can get by somehow, right? Not everybody can do this, but if you can, then imagine if you dumped the other 50% into better tools, like to manage your business and into training, right? So get some good coaching, get some good training.
Yes.
Maybe bring on a VA or, right? You will 10x that business than the person that's spending that money and continues to bootstrap it again and again and again because they're spending that cash somewhere else.
It can happen very fast.
It can blow up fast.
If you manage it properly.
People don't realize how fast you can blow up the business. You guys know.
It was crazy, 12 months. Literally did not know. I had never flipped a house, Jerry. Never flipped out. The only thing I had ever done is bought a home for me and my wife. That's it. Didn't know anything about real estate. Didn't know price per square foot. Didn't know. I didn't
Comps.
even, when I first started, I didn't know what a carport was.
Yeah.
The seller started, I said, you got a garage? It said, we have a carport. I'm like,
what is that?
What is a carport? So I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
In our first 12 months, we did 118 contracts for $2.6 million, and we ran it at a 60% profit margin.
Which proves that this is a sales and marketing business, not a real estate business.
100%.
And so many people right now are watching this, Eric, and they're going, man, I just need to know more about real estate.
Need to get my real estate license.
I need to understand, you know, how much it costs to repair a roof.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You don't need to know. I need to know how to comp properties. You really don't.
No.
You really don't. You need to know how to talk to sellers and talk to buyers.
That's it.
And then the rest is easy to figure out.
Yes. Just stay laser focused on making the dial.
Yeah.
Dial the number, have a conversation. You're going to you're going to screw the conversation up. You're going to fumble your words. You're going to make offers that don't get accepted. All of it's going to happen.
You're going to lock up a bad deal. All of that's normal.
Yes, we still lock up bad deals today. I'm sure you've locked up a bad deal.
Yeah.
But
it's going to happen. It's okay.
Yeah.
So guys, I hope you gathered some great information. Absentee Owners is a really great list. We love that. I love the Tired Landlords too, which is a segment of Absentee Owners. And so, because I just love talking to another investor, you can kind of skip all the fluff and there's less emotional stuff going on. It's just
100%.
like, this property I don't want it anymore. It's been a problem. I'll sell it. Let's talk about it. So there's some great things about that. But keep testing, guys. Keep trying these different leads. Find the ones that work for you. Dial this in. Use what Eric shared here to really do well with this list, the absentee owner list, and just be consistent and you'll get results.
That's it.
That's the whole thing. So thank you, guys. If you want to learn more about Eric's sales process and how he takes people from the hello on the phone to the signing a contract at the end of the phone call, he's got some great training on that. He lays it out really well. It's working tremendous in your business. You've helped a lot of people I know. You're not just training like new people. So if you're watching this and you're brand new, he's not just training you. He's training some of the biggest teams and some of the best people in this industry on how to improve that process on the phones and working with sellers. So we'll put that link below and you guys can check it out as well. And we'll see you on the next video.